Hi folks, Six Slices here. It's been a while, but I'm back. Um, I've got a couple of knives in and I just want to show you, well, start with one of them today, and as you can see from the box, it's a Fallkniven. Interesting Fallkniven quality knives, Sweden. There's a little bit on here showing you that it's a genuine Fallkniven knife. There's the royal crest of Sweden. There's an address in Sweden, telephone number in Sweden, and when I can finally open it, a nice box inside saying quality knives of Sweden. But of course, the one thing this knife is not is Swedish. It is in fact made in Japan, I believe by Moki. But it's done the worse for that, and why they can't just say it, I don't know. Some of the knives that they do have a little sticky label on them that says made in Japan, and this one may have had when it was new, but I got it secondhand from Kongi's Knife Sales, which seems to be the main place that I get knives from these days. But I'm very pleased with this little knife. Actually, it's a UK legal version of the various Fallkniven folding knives. My long-term favourite folding pocket knife has been this one from Fallkniven, which is the TK3. It's called. Now it's a beautiful knife. It's certainly size-wise, it would be perfectly UK legal. It's even its overall cutting, its overall blade length, no matter how harshly you measure it, is always going to be certainly 70 millimeters at the absolute most, limit being 76. Its actual cutting edge is 62 or something like that. So it would be fine, but of course it's locked back, and we can't have lockbacks in the UK anymore. Some little judge one day wanting an easy win in a case against somebody about whom he had a relatively slim case decides to rule that a lockback is not a folding knife. One of the most ridiculous and dangerous rulings probably ever made. So this little baby here, which is called the U1 EYC, is a kind of a UK legal version. They're probably considering it as being a worldwide legal size, because it has a cutting edge of sub 60 millimeters and an overall blade length of about 65 millimeters. So in a sort of inch format, that is going to be a sort of 2.5 inch blade, possibly slightly less than 2. Let me just see if I measure it right to the hilt. Yeah, it's a 2.5 inch blade any day of the week, so it's going to be legal in many places where even a 2.5 inch blade size is required. It is, of course, a genuine slip joint knife. There's no no lock at all other than the spring bar on the back. And in terms of opening, it is very absolutely ambidextrous. It's even got a nail nick on both sides just to make the position doubly sure that it's ambidextrous. And there's a good solid snap on it, so it feels perfectly safe in the hand. In terms of materials, it has an Elmax blade, which seems to be taking over from the 3G laminated of most of the Fallkniven knives of recent years. I quite like the 3G laminated because I just quite like the laminated look of it, but the Elmax is probably a better quality steel. I shouldn't be complaining about that in any way. It's got this Elforyn handle material, which is an imitation ivory. I don't dislike it, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't really understand. I certainly wouldn't want an ivory handled knife because I don't want to have Nelly poached and murdered so I can have a fancy looking knife. But at the same time, I'm not quite sure that I want imitation ivory. Something that looks like I've had Nelly poached, so I can have a pretty looking knife. That's kind of lost on me as a concept, when I could have had and would prefer to have had a bit of nice desert ironwood. But hey ho, it is what it is. Anyway, it is an attractive little pocket knife, and it's one that one can carry in the UK. It comes with a little sheath in the Fallkniven style. Nothing particularly special about it. It's just a sort of ballistic nylon. You can put it on a belt and you can carry it both horizontally or vertically. I tend to just slip it in my pocket. It's Velcro shot, nice, but nothing spectacular. Certainly nothing like the ones that Moki do for their own knives, which is, I suppose, in a way disappointing. Now, the only thing that's a little bit difficult, perhaps, to love is the construction of the body here, in that you have these, effectively you've got these metal webs with a scale applied to the outside, which is certainly nowhere near as nice in my book as the proper bolsters of the lockback knives. But it does work. It does give a nice sort of pinch grip in the hand, and it works. I mean, I don't have very good sensation in my fingers, so it could be that these metal edges could be a bit harsh for all I know, but it's certainly a nicer quality than the more basic folding knives that come out of Fallkniven. This one here, which is the U4 in 3G laminated steel, is one of the smaller ones. This is also available in the TK4, which is effectively the Desert Ironwood one, but in plastic. And there's also a slightly smaller version, which I think is called the U2. I quite like these. Again, they have the lock back, which I like, but is obviously illegal. These are really in the format that Blackie Collins of Gerber originally sort of introduced to Japan. Gerber still makes this type of knife. In fact, this is one of their current models, which they make in the USA. They're not as high quality as the Japanese ones. The steel is cheaper and the moldings are a little bit more basic. But this is really the origin of the Japanese lockback knives. It's where the little Spydercos come from as well. It's that sort of origin via Blackie Collins and then Almar, of course, and Paul Gerber. Anyway, this is my latest from Conky's Knife Sales. I have a couple of others to show you, including a very, very nice Moki, which should be coming up shortly, but I thought I'd start back with this as something that is a good UK carry, even if it's not a Sheffield made knife. It fits my other buying criteria, which is Japanese made knives, yeah, there it is. So if you like this stuff, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of these knives, then please subscribe. I am hoping to get back into doing a few of them. I've had a few technical difficulties of late, some medical, some just physical. They come from my medical problems, but they have manifested themselves in a physical form. Anyway, there we go. That's nice to see you all back. See you again. Bye.